Hello, welcome to AutoCAD beginner course. In this course, we are going to see the AutoCAD software. So how to draw it and how to use the tools. So if you know how to use the tools, and you can easily draw with AutoCAD. So first of all, the interface is like this, and you can see the drawing tools and modify tools and annotation tools in the toolboxes area. So first of all, you need to make some settings before going to draw in AutoCAD. First, you have to set the units. So for that, to access the units, you have to type UN in the command line and just enter. So you can see the drawing units uh, interface here. So you need to set the type of drawing is decimal, and the precision as you can set to 0 because we are going to deal with the length and width as millimeters. So I'm just make this millimeters, and also you can set the units for specifying the intensity of lighting. Also we just set it as an international. So the type of the angle also decimal degrees, and the precision is 0. So we set the drawing units. Next, you need to type DS in the command line and just enter. So you will get this type of uh, pop-up here, and you have to select all the points. So I will explain why you need to select all the options here. So you need to select all, so you can see the endpoint, midpoint, center. So these are the important things when we are drawing with the tools of AutoCAD. So you can access all these things when you are select these all options in the draft settings. So just select all and make OK. So those are the two settings you have to need to done. You have to done before make drawings in AutoCAD. So in here now we will see the drawing tools one by one. So first I'm clicking the line and drawing a line. So rather than doing this, you can also use the command line. So just click the command line and just type L and press enter. So you can access the line tool. So you can just make lines. So next one is polyline. Just click polylines. Just you can draw the polyline. So you can also access the polyline. Just type PO, PL. So you can access the polyline. So you can just, so rather than clicking in the random points, you can also give some a length, like I'm giving 5 and press enter. So like this, you can also give a specific number for the length. So actually you can ask that what is the difference between line and polyline. So if I just select the polyline, the whole line will be selected. But in the line section, you can only select the particular part of the line. Okay. Also, I need to tell one thing. So you can access the property of your drawing. So for an example, I need to see the property of this particular line. I'm just typing PR in the command line and pressing enter. So you can see these uh, properties for that particular selected line. So what is the length, what is the width, and what is the layer transparency. So those things are you can see. So that is the use of the properties. So I will deleting all my drawings. So the next one is the circle. So you can type C in the command line and you can access the circle. So just click and drag it. You can give diameter. So for an example, I'm giving 6 millimeters. So this is my circle. So so the next one is arc. So I am just clicking arc and just drawing the arc. So you can also draw like this. So if you need to know the properties of this arc, just click and select the arc and just type P arc in the command line. So you can see the radius of the arc 5.6. So you need to access the properties of every single things you are drawing in the drawing sheet. So but it is very important to know about the geometry of your drawing. So the next one is a rectangle. So you can access the rectangle by typing REC and press enter. So you can access the rectangle. Then the ellipse. So I'm just clicking and drawing the ellipse. So just click the first point and the next point. So for an example, I'm just deleting this particular thing. I'm just clicking the ellipse and clicking the first point, the second end point, and the rotation, which is from the axis. So next we are going to see the hatch tool. Just click the hatch tool and it will uh, tell you to pick the internal point. So I'm just picking this internal point. You see that the regular ellipse is changed to the solid color. So you can also make uh, the angles and NC styles. So you can change the styles by clicking the patterns, and also you can to go to the gradient, and as well as you can also give some patterns. So that is the those are the drawing tools you can use in the AutoCAD. Next, we will see the modified tools one by one in the toolboxes. So first tool is Move tool. So I am clicking the Move tool. So for before that, I'm just clicking circle and I just make a circle. After that, I'm choosing Move tool and I need to select the object first. So I'm just selecting the circle and press enter, and you need to specify the base point. So I am just uh, make this as base point and just moving that circle where I want. So rather than accessing the move tool from the toolbox, you can also click the command line and just type in and press enter. So you can access the move tool rather than clicking from the toolboxes. So first select the object and next press enter. So So you need to choose the base point. I'm choosing the base point, uh, and I'm copying from here. So you can also copy more than one object. I'm selecting all these objects and I'm giving C O for the copy tool. So I'm now going to select the base point here so I can move the object. Now I am deleting all my sketch. So now I am going to draw a rectangle REC center, and I'm going to draw a rectangle. So now I'm using the tool stretch. So I'm typing S in the command line and pressing enter. So I need to choose the object first. I'm choosing this rectangle. So next one is you have to press enter to execute the next command. So you have to now choose the base point. So you can stretch it like this. So rather than picking the midpoint, I'm just now selecting this. So you can stretch it like this. So then next tool is I'm going to use rotate. So I'm picking rotate and I'm selecting the object, this rectangle, and I'm pressing enter. So I need to specify the base point. I'm just selecting this endpoint and I'm rotating this rectangle. So next one is mirror. So I'm selecting the mirror tool and just selecting the object, this rectangle, and pressing enter. So I need to choose the first line. So I'm choosing this as my first line and I'm just going to pick this as my second. So you are just mirroring this rectangle as this. So after that mirroring, you need to erase. You can also erase your source object, or you can just keep it as it is. So I'm just in no. Next, I'm using a scale tool. So I'm typing C in the command line and pressing enter. So I need to select the objects first. I'm just selecting these two objects and pressing enter. So I need to give a base point. Select no, I'm selecting this as my base point and I am scaling this object. So you can reduce the size or increase the size. That is the main advantage of scaling. So the next tool is the trim. I'm selecting trim and I'm just need to cut these edges. So that is the use of trim tool. So next one is the fillet. So next I'm selecting the fillet tool. Before using the fillet tool, I'm just using the explode tool first. So I am clicking the explode tool and I'm selecting this whole object and pressing enter. So I can all the lines are separated. So in here you can see all the lines are separated. So that is the use of explode tool. Next I am using the fillet tool. So I'm clicking the fillet tool and just selecting the first object. So I need to give the radius. So I'm clicking radius and setting the radius as 1 millimeter and pressing enter. So next I'm just selecting the second object. So the use of the fillet tool is it make the point edges as smooth edges. So that is the use of fillet tool. So the next one is the array tool. So I'm just deleting my previous, and so I'm clicking the array tool. So I need to select the first object. It's my small circle. Right, I'm pressing enter. So I get these kinds of arrays. So you can also change the column to 3, and also you can change the rows to 5. So you can get multiple um, object by using this array tool. So the next tool is the erase tool. So I'm just selecting the erase tool, and I'm selecting this particular object and pressing enter. So you can erase the objects. So that is the main um, use of this erase tool. So the next tool is the offset tool. So for that, I am clicking the offset tool. So here I need to specify the uh, distance. So I'm just clicking the first point as my midpoint and second point. So the distance is like, you can select. So now I need to select the object and I can offset. So you need to only, first you have to choose the distance and you can easily offset. That is the use of this offset tool. So those are the modified tools in AutoCAD. So next we will see the annotation tools. So first the text. So click the text, or you can access the text by typing T in the command line and just pressing enter. So you can access the text tool. So I am clicking the first point and the second point. You can type it whatever you want. I'm typing learn to grow. So this is my text. So it is very small. So you can also select and go to properties. So in here you can see the text height is very small. So 0.2 millimeters. So I am making 5 millimeters. So you can also just move this text wherever you want. And now we will see the dimension tools. So there is a rectangle and triangle and also the circle. So first of all we need to make dimension for this rectangle. I'm just going to dimension and I'm clicking the linear dimension. So I'm clicking the first point and the second point and just making the dimension of this particular side of this rectangle. So in here we cannot be able to see the dimension size, so that we need to go to dimension settings, just type D and press enter. So you can access the dimension style manager. You have to set you can also go to the standard, or you can create a new style manager. I'm creating new style manager. I'm giving L to G. So to start with, I will go with standard and I'm continuing. So here you can see the dimension line and the uh, extension lines. So this is the dimension line and the extension line is this. So you can also change the line type and line weight and the line color as well. So then you can go to the symbols and arrows. So you also can classify the uh, arrow heads, whether it's closed, filled or closed blank. So also you can uh, modify the other text as well. I'm just going to fit and I'm giving here 10. So whether we'll see it will fit for our drawing or not. So I'm clicking OK and I'm closing. Now I'm going to the linear and you can also enter and you can make the dimension. Also you can use the space bar. So if you need to access the previous command, you can use the space bar. I'm just using the space bar and I'm entering so that I can give the dimension to a particular line. So in here you cannot be able to use the linear dimension for this particular triangle this side. So you cannot be able to use the linear. So we need to use the aligned dimension. So I'm clicking the first point and the second point and I am making the dimension for this aligned. So next one, circle. So for that you can use diameter or radius for dimensioning. I'm using diameter. So I'm selecting the object or circle. So you can just show the dimension for this circle. So rather than doing that, you can also clicking the radius and you can show the radius of this circle. So that is the dimensioning part. So the next one is the leader. So I am clicking the leader and I am pointing this particular circle. So the major use is you can point out a particular object and you can name it. So that is the main advantage of this leader. So you can also change the dimension of this particular leader. So next we will move to the table. So I'm erasing all the things. So I'm clicking the table. So in here you need to specify the columns and data rows. So I'm giving 5 rows and 5 columns and I'm creating a table. So I need to give the heading for the table. So this is the way you can create the table. So those are the tools you can access in the annotation tools. Next we will see the layer tools in the toolbox area. So I'm going to select the layer properties in the toolbox. So you can also access the layer properties manager from the command line. It's like you need to type lay and press enter. So you will see this pop up. So I will show that as well. So like this, you will get a pop up. So in this, you can create new layer freeze the layer as well as delete the layer, and also you can set the layer as your current layer. So in here I'm going to create a one layer. So I'm setting the name as circle, and the next layer a rectangle, and I'm creating another layer. I am naming as triangle. So now I'm closing. Now I'm in the zero layer. Yeah. So in here I'm selecting this circle and to send to the circle layer. So now I am selecting this rectangle and I am sending that rectangle to a rectangle layer. So now I am selecting this triangle and setting that triangle layer as triangle. So now I only need to see this particular circle. For that, I'm just clicking and I'm just freezing the rectangle. So I'm just choosing the zero layer first. You cannot be able to uh, freeze the layer while you are in a particular layer. So now I'm freezing the rectangle layer, and now I'm freezing the triangle layer. So I can only view the circle which is in the circle layer. So if I want to see the rectangle, I need to unfreeze. So I need to unfreeze the triangle to see the triangle. So in here, I can also lock the layer. I'm just going to lock the triangle layer. Okay. I'm also locking the circle layer. So now I am just in that rectangle layer and I am just going to move this particular rectangle. So I am clicking the move tool, and this is I am selecting this as my base point and I am just moving this rectangle. But I cannot be able to do that for circle or triangle. So that is the advantage of this layer, because if you lock the layer you can't access that particular objects. So also you can't move or copy or stretch. You can't do anything with that object. So this is the main advantage of the layer tools. So this will be useful when you are dealing with industrial level drawings such as floor plan or a process plan for industry. So this is the main uh, advantage of layer in AutoCAD. Now we will see an example so we can get some practice from these AutoCAD tools. So I'm going to do this 2D exercise 1 in AutoCAD. So first of all, we need to make two circles, which is one the big circle having a 35 millimeter radius, and the small circle is having 20 millimeter radius. So I'm just going to the AutoCAD uh, working area. So in here I'm just clicking circle first. So I'm making a circle. So already it is asking to specify the radius of the circle. So I am giving 35. So I'm zooming out. So next one is a 20 millimeter radius circle. So I'm just clicking the circle and I am pointing the midpoint of the first circle and I'm giving 20 radius. So next I want to make some lines. So I'm just using this time command line. So I'm typing L and pressing enter. So how can I get that point? So if you can access the midpoint of this circle and just you can come like this. So you can get this point. You can access these particular symbols when you are selecting all options in the DS. So DS mean I will explain that one. So I'm making 60. So here also I need to. So I'm just on the auto mode. So I can draw the vertical and horizontal lines. So now I am giving 70 millimeters and I'm just doing this. So DS means I'm like drafting settings. So you have to select all the options in drafting settings. So then only you can access the endpoint, midpoint, centers, as well as node. Also the tangent is very important thing. So you can access all these options if you select all. So now I don't need this particular half circle of this bigger one. So I am using now trim and just trimming that particular part. So now I need to draw this particular rectangle. So the width and the length is 50 and the width is 15. So I'm just going to draw that particular rectangle outside of this particular object. First I am I'm going to give the dimensions. So I am specifying the length as 50 and the width as 15. So this is my rectangle. So how can I place this rectangle inside this object? For that, I'm going to draw a small line like. So I'm just point out this midpoint so you can see. So auto mode is on. So here I need to 15 millimeter gap, so that I'm just giving 15 and I just make this particular line. So I'm just moving this particular rectangle to this inside this object. I'm just using move tool. So I'm clicking that object and pressing enter. So I just need to pick this point, this midpoint, the below the side midpoint. So the auto mode is on, so that I'm just off the auto mode. So I'm placing here. Okay. So Now I can remove this particular line. So I just drew the all objects. So now I need to give the dimensions. For that, I'm using linear dimension first. I'm picking linear and pressing enter. And I'm just clicking that line and giving the dimension. So the dimension is very, very small. So I can go to dimension settings, uh, dimension style manager. So I can create new one. So I'm creating new one and I am naming as L2G and I'm continuing. So in here in the fit section, I'm just giving this overall scale of 15. Okay, I'm just clicking OK now and I'm closing this one. So I'm deleting the dimension and I'm going to use the linear dimension again. So now that particular dimension size is okay. So there's a 4 precision points. So we don't need any precision point here, the exercise. So I'm just going to dimension style manager again. Now I'm just now going to modify. So I'm modifying and now I'm going to primary units. So from that I can see the precision. So now I can set to 0. So I'm just okay and I'm closing. So now I need to give the dimension for this as well. So I just gave the dimension for all the linear objects. So I need to give the dimension for the circle now. So I'm clicking the radius first. So here I'm just going to uh, dimension this one. So I don't like this kind of dimensioning style. So I'm just going to dimension style manager again and I'm modifying that my style. So I'm just going to fit option and I'm just pick up the draw dimension line between extended lines. So I'm giving OK now and closing. So now I can see this is the proper way of dimensioning the circle. So now I'm going to dimension. So now I'm using diameter to dimension this particular small circle. So I'm finishing this one. So that is the thing we need to do in exercise 1. So now we need to save our file. To save the file, we need to go to here and save as. So you need to save as AutoCAD drawing. It's like the extension is .dwg. So that format you need to save the file. Okay. Now you need to print that particular working. So for that you need to go to plot. So the shortcut of the plot is Control E. So from this, you need to select the printer. If you connect the desktop with the printer, you can select the printer. Otherwise, I'm just going with DWG to PDF. So I'm just going to save this as PDF. So need to uh, choose the paper size as well. So I'm just going to use ISO A4. So I'm giving this plot window. So I need to select the window for the plotting. So now I am making this plot as center. So then I am making a preview. So this is my drawing. Okay, you can also print it. So that is all about this example. Finally, I would like to say thank you very much for completing this course. Also, you can get your e-certificate by filling the Google form in this description of this video. So also I need to also please subscribe and giving more support to create more full courses like this in future.